So next topic in fluorimetry is instrumentation. And instrumentation, if we saw the different parts of the instrument, we can see that it contains a typical fluorimeter or fluorospectrometer, contains a source of light, then a collimator, after that a slit, followed by a monochromator, then sample cell, then again monochromator. So we use monochromator before sample cell and after sample cell. Then detector, amplifier, and readout system. So these are different parts of a typical fluorometer or a spectrophlorimeter. So the main parts in instrumentation in spectrophlorimeter are source of light, filter and monochromator, sample cell and detector. First, source of light. Various sources of light are used. First is mercury vapor lamp. Generally, mercury vapor lamp give radiation, uh, continuous radiation about 350 nanometer, and also a line at 254 nanometer. So if we want radiation in this range, we can use mercury vapor lamp. It is used in fluorimeter in recent modern spectrophlorimeter. It is not used. Then xenon arc lamp. Uh, it gives more intense radiation than mercury vapor lamp. That is, intensity of radiation of xenon arc lamp is more. That's why it is used in modern spectrophlorimeter. Next is tungsten lamp. In tungsten lamp, we use a tungsten filament, and it is generally used if the excitation has to be done in visible region. Next part is filters and monochromator. Generally, filters are generally used in fluorimeter, and filters are generally nothing but optical filters which work on the principle of absorption of unwanted light and transmittance of required wavelength of light. So, in previous or old fluorimeter instruments, filters were generally used in place of monochromators. But in modern instruments, monochromators are used. Generally, the filters used are of two types: primary filter, secondary filter. Primary filter absorb visible radiation and transmit UV radiation, and secondary filters absorb UV radiation and transmit visible radiation. Now, monochromators. The main work of monochromators is to convert polychromatic light into monochromatic light. They isolate a specific range of wavelengths coming out from the radiation source. Then, in modern spectrophlorimeter, two types of monochromators are used: exciton monochromator and emission monochromator. Excitation monochromator provide suitable radiation for excitation molecule, and emission monochromator isolate only the radiation emitted by the fluorescent molecule. Means they only allow the radiation emitted by fluorescent material to pass through them. As you can see in the diagram, uh, excitation monochromator is used before the sample chamber, and emission monochromator are used after the sample chamber. Next part is sample cell. For holding of sample, we generally used cuvettes made up of quartz, and it is generally cylindrical or rectangular. Mm, Next part is detector. Generally, barrier layer cell or photovoltaic cell and photomultiplier cells are used. Barrier layer cells are used in colorimeter, and photomultiplier cells are used in modern spectrophotometer. Uh, so first detector is barrier layer or photovoltaic cell. Now this consists of a copper plate coated with a thin layer of cuprous oxide over which a semi-transparent film of silver is laid. So when external light falls on the oxide layer, it causes emission of electron from this oxide layer, which move into the copper plate. So since there is emission of electron from oxide layer, this oxide layer becomes, and the electron passes to the copper plate. So oxide layer becomes positive and copper plate becomes negative. Hence, a EMF is developed between copper plate and oxide layer, and the current developed due to this EMF is measured by a by connecting a galvanometer. Now, the amount of current flows is proportional to the intensity of incident light. Now, a second type of cell is barrier layer cell. In barrier layer cell, we use a iron plate or which a selenium coating is done, and over which a silver coating is done. Again, here uh, iron plate act as the positive electrode and this silver layer as negative electrode. Next is a photomultiplier tube. Uh, these are expensive instruments. These are used in the modern spectrophlorimeter, and their sensitivity is very high. They can measure a weak intensity of radiation, and the principle in employed in photomultiplier tube is that mul- multiplication of photoelectrons is done by secondary emission of electrons, and secondary emission of electrons is employed by using a special type of electrode called as dynode. And we generally in a photomultiplier tube up to 10 dinodes are used, and these dinodes are maintained at a potential difference which is 70 to 75 to 100 volt higher than the previous cathode or dynode. At each stage, the electron emission is multiplied by a factor of 4 to 5 due to secondary emission of electrons, and hence uh, a, an overall increase up to 10 to the power 6 factor is achieved. Photomultiplier tubes can detect very weak signals, even up to 200 times less uh, if we compare them with photovoltaic cell. Uh, Photomultiplier tubes should be shielded from a stray light because they are very sensitive. This is a typical diagram of a photomultiplier tube. Now, incident radiation collide with this photocathode, it result in emission of electron, and these electrons are directed to these diodes through this focusing electrode. Now this is first dynode. So this electron which is emitted from photocathode collide with this dynode, and it result in emission of more electrons which collide with secondary dynode, then third, then fourth, and this process goes on. And in each stage, there is increase in electrons up to 4 to 5 times. Generally, the instruments used in fluorimetry can be divided into three types: single beam fluorimeter, double beam fluorimeter, and spectrofluorimeter. A single beam fluorimeter contains a tungsten lamp as source of light, and it uses a filter as a medium to isolate the radiation. The emitted radiation is measured at an angle 90 degree by using a secondary filter and a detector. Primary filter absorb visible radiation and transmit UV radiation, which excites the molecule present in the sample cell. Now, single beam instrument is of following types, as you can see in this diagram. Light source emits the light which passes through monochromator, that is filter, and then the light after passing through this monochromator goes to sample, which goes to detector, and finally to recorder. Now, double beam fluorimeter, it is similar to single beam except that it employs two incident beams from a single light source. One beam passes through primary filter and it falls on another reference solution. Then the emitted radiation from the sample or reference sample pass separately through secondary filter and produce response combinedly on a detector. So in double beam fluorimeter, the radiation emitted by the light source is converted into two beams. One beam passes through the sample, one beam passes through the reference, and finally both beams are measured by the detector, and different in intensity of both beams are measured by the detector. This is typical diagram of a double beam fluorimeter. This is light source, and the light emitted by the light source is converted into two beams. First is this one and second is this one. First beam pass through the sample, second pass through the reference, and finally both beams are measured by the detector. Now, spectrofluorimeter in primary filter in double beam fluorimeter is replaced by excitation monochromator, and the secondary filter is replaced by emission monochromator. Incident beam is split into sample and reference beam by using beam splitter. This is a typical diagram of a spectrofluorimeter, and you can see that light emitted by the light source is converted into two beams. One pass through the sample, one pass through the reference. Monochromators are used. First monochromator is used before light entering the sample cell, and one monochromator is used after the light emitting the sample cell, and photomultiplier tube is used as the detector. Now, applications. Now, fluorimetry used for a variety of applications, for estimation of pharmaceutical substances, organic, inorganic substances, food substances. So, fluorimetry is used for determination of inorganic substances, for example, aluminium, lithium, zinc, ions, determination of vitamins, for example, determination of thiamine, determination of various drugs, for example, phenytoin, determination of organic compounds, for example, indoles, phenols, phenothiazines, determination of naphthols, uh, proteins, plant pigments, steroids. Fluorimetry is also used for the detection of impurities present in a quantity as low as in nanogram level. Uh, Determination of ruthenium ions in presence of other platinum metals, determination of boron in steel, aluminium alum, in alloys and manganese in steel, determination of boron in steel by complex formed with benzoin, estimation of cadmium in different samples. So these are different applications of fluorimetry, and various types of drugs have been reported to be estimated by fluorimetry. Some examples are adrenaline, cyanocobalamin, riboflavin, morphine, hydrocortisone, phenobarbital, amylobarbital,